Talks to Himself, a novel by Wright, narrated by the author. Chapter 7 The One the Fire Sent. It began with a crack, not of thunder, but of ember. The fire that had burned gently for many moons spoke not in flames, but in direction. He felt it one morning before dawn as smoke curled upward into his spine. The spirit was realized, like a great Nemekibeneshene thunderbird from the old stories. This great spirit was released. You cannot stay, not out of punishment, not out of rejection, but because the path was moving again in him. The land had taught him, the people had found him, but now the medicine needed to move where the sick knew not of their true health. He gathered what he had, which was nothing, but what he came with, his breath, his bones, and a bundle of silence that now pounded like a drum in his center. Those who remained wept, not because they were abandoned, but because they understood now what is needed for all, an awakening. A true teacher doesn't stay, a true walker doesn't root in one place, but expands to include everything here. It becomes like nutrients coursing through the roots of all things that were created to live. He turned to the trees as his witness, bowed to the fire, and placed a small stone in the center of a circle created. A marker, a memory, a signal to anyone else who would one day sit here too and draw from this healing place for rest and rejuvenation. And then he walked, not with destination, but with direction. Not to teach, but to meet what was ahead. A sky changed as he moved. New birds, new smells, new earth beneath his moccasins. He needed not a map nor a compass. He just followed resonance, an aroma so powerful. He had to pursue it whenever the heart quickened, whenever the wind picked up and circled, settling on his right side. A brother or sister was placed in his path, looking back at him like a hollow cup. He stepped up to them, turning their tears of sadness into rivers and lakes of joy, inviting them for a refreshing swim in them. That was his resting place. That was his signpost, where healing was needed, where healing must be, for there is no other reason for being here. He didn't walk alone. The Manadog, spirit, ancestors walked with him. Even the great pine trees bowed now in reverence, as well as the little spruce, waving back and forth like excited children when someone new visits them. Sometimes he spoke in Ojibwa, the language of the original people. Other times he would be silent for days, peacefully letting the drums within him create the remedy. But always he listened for the warm fire crackling at the next stop, the next inviting glade in the woods. He sat there, waiting for the next hint, the next whisper of what's next. And the drummer within never kept him waiting too long. Keep going. Each step is a circle forming into a camp of those who hunger. Each of those who hunger is like a star waiting to be named. Each star is a limb reaching out to be joined to a cosmic body it once knew. So he walked, and the medicine walked with him. To outsiders, it looked like he was carrying a medicine bag, but it resided in his heart, where nobody could ever steal it again. Never was this secret place, but self-fulfilling. As fast as he could give it away, it was immediately replaced. Chapter 8 The One Who Sat Among Strangers. The next camp was not what he had expected. There were no wigwams, no songs rising from any fire, only tired eyes and shoulders bent from carrying their burdens too long. Still, he knew this was the place, not because it welcomed him, but because it reminded him of what needed to be remembered. They did not know him. They didn't have to. He knew for them. They didn't even ask his name, but the children watched from all four directions, and the wind turned in slow circles like it was stirring a great pot of corn soup. He did not declare himself. He sat under a crooked tree that looked like it had once wanted to fly at one time. For days nothing happened, and yet everything was happening, without show, pompous display, or fuss of any kind. Yet one by one they came, not with stories, but with questions they couldn't speak aloud. They brought him food on a plate at first, then they left fresh-cut wood to keep him warm, and then finally a sima, tobacco, on a simple cloth as an offering. This time it was not of seekers, but of the forgotten who want to remember again. Those who had long carried pain with a second skin, those who had thought the sacred had passed them by, those who believed their voice would never rise to be heard again. He did not fix them, he saw them, who they really were, and still can be and are to this day. He sang once, a soft, wordless sound that came from his belly, and the land answered back, not with applause, but with stillness so complete it made everyone cry. That night, they lit a great fire in the middle of the camp, not for warmth or need for sight, but to mark the return of something they never thought about. No one said it out loud, but every soul knew. They felt it. Something ancient had sat down among them in the dirt, and was wearing their eyes, their black hair, their brown skin. He was not their leader, he was not their healer, he was their mirror, and in that mirror they saw the path open up to themselves, their real selves. The end of chapter 8.